Defense Secretary Chuck Hagel has told members of Congress that the government could have done a better job alerting them about the prisoner swap that freed Army Sergeant Bo Bergdahl. Now, Hagel also told the panel that his forces, they had to act quickly because it may have been the, quote, last best chance to actually free the only U.S. soldier that was being held captive in Afghanistan. Bergdahl, as many of you know, he's accused of being taken hostage after leaving his post here, and he was held captive, as you also know, for 5 years. That until the government stepped in and negotiated with the terrorists here, plain and simple, releasing 5 Taliban leaders that were being held at Guantanamo Bay in exchange for Bergdahl. Now, the swap has certainly caused a media circus, and Bergdahl's parents, they're even receiving death threats. Today, Defense Secretary Chuck Hagel, he dug in his heels about the decision.
America does not leave its soldiers behind. We made the right decision, and we did it for the right reasons. All of these decisions are part of the brutal and imperfect realities we all deal with in war.
And to show you where the American public on this thing is, new ABC News Washington Post poll shows most Americans, while they originally supported it, now disapprove of the swap here. To that end, it is an interesting sidebar, and Andrew, Hagel, for people who don't know, decorated war veteran himself, Vietnam vet. He and his brother actually, if you want to, you should on your own look up his military record. And most military people you talk to say, no, this isn't one of those that's maybe kind of, you don't leave one of your behind. We've had military experts who certainly won't be confused with progressive liberals, and they said, no, this is, you get your guy back. That's the difference between us and them. However, there's 2 parts to this. One, there's hypocrisy, isn't there?
Well, we had a lot of members of Congress and senators who, you know, the moment that it was freed or released, they tweeted out, you know, congratulations on the return and how celebrated it was, and then took those tweets down or took their comments back and immediately started criticizing it after we got media reports questioning Bergdahl's activities, the timeline of everything, even things like his father's beard, which he didn't shave until his son was released at the press conference at the White House. So the media seemed to turn on it pretty quickly, at least the conservative media did, and then you had lawmakers who turned around also.
But it was also mainstream media, Dominic, which is interesting on this one. We still don't know exactly the circumstances surrounding his capture. We've heard some members from his unit say that, yeah, he was a pretty good soldier, he was off. Others saying, no, you know, he actively had questions about the mission here, and now we've learned that I guess the unit had a record of having lax discipline, and he was one of the problems that he may have. But we don't know the whole story, and people have gone out and indicted to the point where his family, they canceled the whole parade and stuff that they were going to do for his return back home in the hometown that was very vested in this, and his family's gotten death threats as a consequence. And again, it's not just the fill in the blanks of the irresponsible ones you'd imagine would do this. You got a lot of mainstream folks here already indicting the guy when we don't know the facts.
Well,
which is different than it used to be.
It is different than what it used to be. The benefit of the doubt is not there. It's definitely not there in this case. Inconclusive. That's the best way to describe it. There are a lot of questions surrounding this. And perception in politics is reality. Andrew brought up the father's beard. That did play into all of this. The image of the father when he was walking out with the president and the wife from Idaho. There are a lot of questions, Richard, and I don't think anybody can tell you exactly what went on, but the premise is that America does not leave her soldiers behind. And so if we believe in that premise, and I think everybody at this table does, and most people watching the show, then it was the right thing to do.
And also there's this premise that Congress had no idea. Well, we now know the loop was about 90 people that knew, including some members of Congress. So it wasn't that this completely happened in a vacuum that no one ever knew about. Could there have been better? Potentially. I'm not even sure of this answer. Could you have shared some secrets with this Congress in today's day and age without it being leaked to the media in less than an hour, right?
No.
And people try and score political points.
No.
I happen to agree with you, Dominic. Some people say, no, you should have at least gone to the committee chairmanships.
Is that anywhere close to the heart of the issue? I mean, is that any...
For some it is.
I know, but for those are the same people who are looking to criticize no matter what the result is or what the action is,
That's
especially
the
by
key
the
point.
administration.
Partisan politics.
But the whole didn't disclose to Congress. Yes, I know there may have been a question about whether that violated the law or not, and there were the administration had a legal opinion saying that they had the right to do it. But if that's your focus on this issue, I think you're totally missing it. Now, I'm not saying you. I'm saying people at home.
No. I want to get to our next segment because we got follow-ups on a few stories that we've covered on this program, including a shakeup as it relates with the school system in our district, and calls for state intervention apparently have been heard. State fiscal monitor is headed up to East Ramapo. What that might mean for that controversial school district, we'll get into that after this.